Hello, divine souls. Welcome to Self Strength with Stephanie Juste. This is a space for women and men who are rebuilding themselves spiritually, emotionally, nervous system wise. If you have survived things you don't always talk about, if you are learning how to soften without collapsing, you are in the right place. Before we begin, take one slow breath with me. Inhale slowly, hold, exhale gently. This podcast is not just about listening, it's about returning to yourself. Today, I am going to read you guys my story titled The Girl Who Was Never Enough. I don't remember much from kindergarten, only that my parents used to say that I had a weak energy. Maybe they meant I was too slow, too quiet, too soft for a child with the age of 3 to 5 years old. Maybe they didn't understand that silence was how I survived. I did not have many friends in school. Most days I sat alone, lost in thoughts. I didn't know how to explain. School didn't feel like a safe place at the age of 7 to 17 years old. I felt like another test in life that I will fail. At home, my father was my professor. When I brought a grade home that didn't please him, the lesson will come through his hands. My father believed pain could make me smarter. At home, my mother was my worst enemy. When I thought a grade, when I brought a grade home that did not please her, the lesson will come through her hands, through a broom, through a belt, through a cable cord, through her words, her harsh words. She believed pain could make me smarter or change me. I remember as a child when I needed a hug from my mom, from my father, they would push me away if they weren't in the mood. If I felt sad or if I felt sad, angry, depressed, I will be beating again for being angry or sad. I will be judged, looked down for being angry or sad or depressed. I will be emotionally hurt for feeling how I feel as a child. Just because I show it or express it. There was no space for feeling in that house. Only correction, only obedience. By the time I reached middle school, Life had already hardened me, but middle school broke me anyway. The teachers wanted us to speak French. Classes were in French. The books were in French. And everything I was supposed to memorize was writing languages that I did not love. I hate it not because I didn't want to learn, but because I felt like the world wanted me to erase myself. The school system was cruel, very cruel. I had to memorize 1 or 2 pages of every subject, words for words, and stand in front of the teacher to repeat it like a machine. It wasn't learning, it was survival. Every night, every night, my father forced me to study. If I forget, if I forgot a word, if I forgot a word or pause too long, his hand, his heavy hand would hit my head. His belt would find my skin. The sound of those nights still echoes in me. I learned at young age to memorize out of fear, to study not for knowledge, but to avoid pain. If I could remember enough, my father would stop beating me. If I failed, I would pay again. At school, it was not much different. When I couldn't recite, when I couldn't recite the page exactly, the teacher would hit me too with a ruler, with her or his words, humiliation in front of everyone. The message was the same. You are not enough, Stephanie. Test became another battlefield. When I earned 65 for all the grades, I was proud because I had tried. But my parents saw failure. A 65 meant beating, bad words thrown at me emotionally. A 70 meant nothing, just a or whatever, or that's not enough. Only a perfect score, only a perfect score could bring peace for me. And peace was rare in our home. I did not have friends to comfort me when I tried to talk to other kids. They would leave me after a few weeks for someone else. By the time school ended, each day, I, Stephanie Juste, was almost always sitting alone, waiting for my parents to pick me up, watching other children laugh, and me feeling invisible. If I brought some things to school that I should have not, like a pocket knife that I took from the table kitchen at home, the directress found that I brought that pocket knife, call my father and let him know. My father will come at the school. He will scold me and beat me up in front of the teachers, in front of the director, and the student, in front of the world. He will humiliate me. I feel humiliation. I feel shame as a child. When I get home, whew, my mother will continue what my dad started. Or my father will continue what my mother started. I will be becoming a punching bag, getting boxing by my mother and my father, both of them together, hitting me hard, with both of them beating me up together. There was no way out. Just me crying, crying, tear dripping out of my eyes. My skin full of bruise. And no one to come to save me. Just me, myself, and I, with the thoughts that I'm going to die by their hands today, tonight. I felt helpless most of the night, getting beat up by them. The teacher said I could not focus, that I was not a good student, that I will probably never graduate or pass the state exam. My mother thought so, but my dad thought different, since he was my professor, my teacher at home. They did not know that I was not lazy. I was tired. I was mentally, emotionally tired. I was scared. I was a child trying to learn while carrying the weight of fear on my shoulders. I grew up believing I was not smart enough, not calm enough, not lovable enough, not worthy. I grew up believing that if I wanted love, I had to earn it. And even then, it might still hurt. When I think about that version of me, I don't see a weak girl. I see a girl who was trying to survive in a place where nothing she did felt right. No matter how hard I tried, there was always something missing. A better grade, better behavior, less emotion, more silence. And after a while, I stopped trying to understand what was wrong with me. I just believe that something wrong with me as a child. I believe I was not enough. I believe that I was not worthy. I believe that my feeling, my emotion did not matter. But now, as an adult, looking back, I see it differently. I wasn't failing. I was a child living in fear, a child trying to learn in an environment that did not feel safe, a child who did not need more discipline, but more understanding, more patience, more softness. And maybe that's the part that stayed with me the most as I am growing up, as I get older. Not the grades, not the punishment, but the belief I carry for so long that love had to be earned, that who I was as a child naturally was not enough. And today, in this present moment, I am still learning to unlearn that. Still learning that I don't have to perform to be loved. I don't have to be worthy. I don't have to be perfect to be worthy. My apology. I don't have to be perfect to be worthy. That I can just be, and that I can be enough. That I am enough. That I am worthy when no one saw my worth. Before we close, I want to leave you with a few affirmations. Divine Soul, you can repeat them in your mind or just listen. I am enough even when I am not perfect. I am enough even when I am not perfect. I am enough even when I am not perfect. I was not a failure. I was a child doing my best. I was not a failure. I was a child doing my best. I was not a failure. I was a child doing my best. I am allowed to make mistakes and still be loved. I am allowed to make mistakes and still be loved. I am allowed to make mistakes and still be loved. Now, Divine soul, bring awareness to your feet. Feel them touching the floor, the mat, the grass. Bring awareness to your body. Feel your body touching the chair, the bed, the floor, the grass, the sand. Notice 5 things you can see. Notice 4 things you can physically feel. Notice 3 things you can hear. Notice 2 things you are grateful for today. Notice 1 thing that you are proud of surviving. Divine souls, you are here in this present moment, not in the past. And that matters. Thank you for thank you for spending the moment with me. Thank you for spending this moment with me, divine souls. If this touched you, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share it with a woman or a man who needs softness. This is Soft Strength with Stephanie Juste, and we are just beginning.